Antonio Anglés Martins, born the 25th of July 1966, is a Brazilian Spanish criminal and fugitive. He lived in his native Brazil for a year before moving to Spain. According to his relatives and friends, Anglés was known as a habitually violent criminal who frequently beat up his mother. With criminal records for mugging, robbery and drug trafficking, he is best known for his triple offense in the crime of the Alcácer girls, committed in Alcácer, a town in the Valencian region, in which Desiree Hernandez, Miriam Garcia and Antonio Gomez were kidnapped, tortured, raped and killed, with Anglés allegedly involved. Some raised doubts about the 25th of July 1966 date of Anglés Martins' birth at São Paulo because the reports of the Spanish civil guards and the police showed different dates. Aside from this discrepancy, however, his early life has been documented. He was the fourth of 9 children of Enrique Anglés and Nusa Martins, who were married in February 1959. By 1958, the family moved to Spain where they resided in a Valencia town called Quiroga. Sources show that Anglés Martins started living on his own in 1991 when he moved to 101 Camarilla in Catarroja. He spent 2 years in prison for kidnapping, chaining and hitting 20-year-old Núria Paramitu in January 1990, apparently for stealing some grams of heroin from him. The woman's life was saved thanks to the intervention of one of Anglés' brothers. Given a chance for social reintegration, he received penitentiary leave of 6 days in 1992, and he took advantage of it to escape, with the result that he didn't finish his sentence and he was from that point on arrest warrant. The Alcácer crime. On the night of the 13th of November 1992, Antonio Anglés, well known as a Sugar, went for a drive in the Opel Corsa of his friend Miguel Ricartarrega, Catarroja, 1969, who was with him. While they were driving along a road, they saw 3 girls who were hitchhiking to a party which the Picascent High School was holding in the Cooler nightclub. Anglés asked them if they were going to Cooler, and so the 3 girls got into the car. When they arrived at Cooler, Anglés told Ricard to continue driving. The girls started screaming. Right after, Anglés pulled out a 9mm short-caliber Star gun. He hit them with the butt of the gun and then he tied them up. Ricard drove the car to Catadão. This was the area where Anglés used to hide when the Guardia Civil were looking for him. He suggested the half-fallen hut of La Romana as a place to take the girls. 2 of the girls were raped by both Anglés and Ricard. Later, they decided to tie them up and return to the town to look for food. When they come back, they raped the 3rd girl. Then they dug a pit and forced them to go into it, where they shot and buried them. They picked up the cartridges of the gun and cleaned the car. An intense search to find the girls began. On the 27th of January 1993, after heavy rains, the soil softened and the bodies appeared. 2 beekeepers who were taking care of their beehives came across the pit. In the investigation, the civil guard found one of Ricard's gloves, a social security slip in the name of Enrique Anglés Martins, Antonio's brother, and a gun cartridge in the pit. Anglés was not in his house when the civil guard went there looking for his brother Enrique. He escaped and hid for a month in a Valencian town, harassed by the Guardia Civil and the police. He was almost captured in Villamarxant, but he managed to escape the extensive police cordon which had been set up. He appeared again in Minglanilla, Cuenca, some days later, the last place in Spain where he was seen before being subsequently spotted in Lisbon in March 1993. From this point on, there are 2 theories. The first says that he boarded the boat City of Plymouth as a stowaway, before jumping overboard on being discovered near the coast of Ireland. Thereafter, his trail was lost, and he is believed to have died from cold or drowning in those waters. The second theory simply assumes that in Lisbon he boarded a ship for Brazil, his native country, and he managed to get there and enter the country with his Brazilian passport, since he had dual nationality, Spanish and Brazilian, but the reality is that until the present day nothing is known about his whereabouts. In February 2021, the Court of Valencia reactivated the search for Anglés, ordering the ship's captain and a worker from a Lisbon transport company, with whom the fugitive allegedly had a telephone conversation, to be interrogated again. After 21 years in prison, Ricard was released on the 29th of November 2013, and gave a series of interviews in which he still maintained his innocence, alleging a conspiracy that pinned him as scapegoat. According to Interpol's records, Antonio Anglés Martins is still included in its most wanted criminals list. He is described in its database as 1.75 meters tall and has blue eyes. He is charged with kidnapping, rape, murder, unlawful burial, and illegal possession of weapons. See also the Alcácer Girls list of fugitives from justice who disappeared. References: Perez Abel N. Francisco, 2002. Alcácer, Punto Final. Total Alberta Diaz Años Después. Barcelona. Martínez Roca. ISBN 84-270-2913-6. FP Libertad Digital Suplementos. El Senado de las Niñas de Alcácer, Violación y más hechos. 1. SBL Pace. Cadroga Pied Perdón. 2. M.A./S.V. El Pace. Antonio Anglés, Retrato de un Superviviente. 3. Martínez Lainez, Fernando, 1993. Sin Piedad. Barcelona. Editions BISBN 84-406-4178-8. RBC ABC. Los Delitos de Anglés no prescribieron hasta 2029. 4. P. Munoz, the 30th of November 2013. Interpol mantiene Antonio Anglés entre los delincuentes más buscados del mundo. ABC. External links: completed photo albums and Picasso photographies in La Romana. 2008-2010-2011 Report on Autopsia on La Romana, 2008 about the assumed crime scene videos, Autopsia on La Romana, 2010-2011 about the assumed crime scene in YouTube.